Can somebody tell me why I'm not hungry after consuming 200 milligrams of caffeine? I think it's because caffeine's a stimulant, but I'm not a doctor. Wait, I skipped the intro. How are you guys doing? This is the Lemon Tea Podcast, and I am your host, Logan Erickson. That's right. We have video today, and man, what's going on? What's going on in the world? I think a former president is getting indicted? Did he get arrested? I don't even know what's going on in that realm. Should probably be paying more attention to it. But yeah, I don't pay for cable. Do you guys pay for cable? Anytime I find myself needing to listen to the news or like CNN or Fox or like any of that media crap, all I have to do is call my mom, and I actually FaceTime her, and I can hear it blaring on the TV in the background every time I call her. So you just, I don't even have to pay the $70-$80 a month, whatever it is, for cable. Heck, maybe you're doing Sling, maybe it's cheaper than that. I don't know what. I think my mom has Sling. I don't know. I don't read into it. Yeah, I think I just go on Twitter for news. I don't know if that's good or bad, but Elon Musk says that's what he does, and I'm just trying to be like him. JK. What's going on? What are you guys up to? Wait, you guys can't respond. That's right. That's how a podcast works. If you can't tell, kind of antsy, kind of all over the place. This is the second time doing the video. I got a good few responses. Obviously, we only have like 2 people listen to this, so 50% of them, 50% of the audience said do the video again. So, well, no, that's not true. I have my mom, I have my girlfriend, and then 4 or 5 people. Yeah, 4 or 5 people. If you guys couldn't tell, that was a subtle slide in there about how I have a girlfriend. I don't know. I don't know how I did it. I know majority of my audience is men, so if you need a role model, need somebody to look up to, maybe, you're trying to get into the dating arena, maybe you should start a podcast. I'll listen to it, I'll support it, and I'll be honest with you. I'll let you know if it sucks or not, because obviously I'm an expert in podcasting. Been doing it over a year, have over 100 listens on almost 30 episodes. Not to gloat, but I am in triple digits myself. I don't know how to hold this, but I think it looks cool. So I'm going to go with it. I'm going to roll with it. Don't really care. So, yeah, back to the all over the place today. Back to the caffeine. So if there's a doctor or like a nutritionist or somebody who like is an expert in that area, in that field, dietitian maybe, I don't know. But if you know how food affects the body, and you're not just going to tell me, well, it's different for everybody. Like, I get that. Everybody has a different sensitivity to caffeine, right? I mean, if you give an infant newborn, 200 milligrams of caffeine, yeah, they're going to be a little bit more sensitive to it. All right. Not saying I tried that, but just an idea. If anybody has any newborns in the family, maybe run an experiment for me if we don't get a response from a doctor or something. But I want to know why consuming caffeine gets rid of my appetite. I don't know if it's right, caffeine's a stimulant and I'm loss of appetite in there, but I'm at work, right? I get a cup of coffee, cup of coffee in the morning, pound back a Celsius, which is 200 milligrams, so we'll call it 260 milligrams of caffeine, maybe even more than that. I don't know what's in a Keurig coffee, whatever it is, K-cup thing. But can somebody, I guess the point I'm trying to get to, can somebody explain to me why I have to choose between staying awake on an empty stomach or being well nutritioned and getting fired? Like when I'm at work, if I don't consume, what I'm trying to say is when I'm at work and I'm trying to stay awake, why do I have to sacrifice being malnourished, to stay awake? Why do I have to be malnourished to stay awake? I don't understand. So I've really gotten into this because it's my third week. I started my third week here in the cities, doing what I do. And I've just been playing around with it because I've been eating like a hearty breakfast in the morning. So I make this like massive breakfast burrito. I got these like burrito tortillas from Sam's Club. Shout out Sam's Club. Sam's Club! My favorite club in the entire world. So I got these I got like 200 burrito tortilla shells, right? Soft shells. And what I do is I get thick cut bacon, right? Thick cut. And I take that thick cut bacon out of the fridge. And what I do is I usually take 3 or 4 slices and I cut them in half. And then I stack one half of the bacon on top of the other half. So I got a brick, right? I got a brick of bacon. What I do is right here, this is the brick of bacon right here. I take a scissors and I cut into itty bits of bacon, and I fry them on the frying pan over there. And what I do here, and this is at like 5:30 in the morning. This is what I do before work. So, and this is after I worked out. So I do that, and then after I get the bacon going, I let the bacon cook a little bit, right? Because bacon takes a little longer to cook than an egg, right? So then I get a little bowl, and I take 3 eggs. So I got like 3 pieces of bacon, 4 on a good day, and thick cut bacon, not that cheap stuff. So, and I get this all from Sam's Club. So if they want to sponsor me, Sam's Club. Sponsor the Lemon Tea Podcast. I like how my morning routine doesn't at all involve lemon tea. And I like how I did a video for this and I haven't been drinking lemon tea. I think I'm just like so worried about the camera and how I look. Because I just don't want people to make fun of me for my body. Anyway, so I'm making this breakfast. I get the bacon going, and then I get 3 eggs into a bowl, and I stir it up with a fork. I whisk it with a fork because I'm too lazy to use a whisk. So I just use a fork. It works. It does the same thing, right? It's 3 eggs, it's whatever. So I get that going, and then I fry that up. I get the scrambled eggs. I get the bacon. And then I lay down, right, shredded cheese on the soft shell, right? I got the soft shell, burrito shell on a plate, right? And I can't emphasize enough, it's a soft shell, okay? So flour tortilla, right? That's important here, okay? Because it's going to totally change the game. And you get cheese, you sprinkle the cheese on the tortilla, and then when the bacon's done, you put half the bacon on top of the cheese, and then you put all the eggs on top of the bacon, and then you put the rest of the bacon on top of the eggs, and then you put another, not a pinch, not a handful, whatever, somewhere in between that, you put that on top of the last half of bacon, and then you wrap it up like a burrito, like as best you can, right? And then you fold it, and then you just, right, let's say this is the folded side, right? So I fold this, whatever. And then I just go like that back onto the frying pan. And then I let that, and then I crank it up because I want that tortilla to get nice and warm, and I want the cheese to melt on the inside. And once I get that going, I eat that. And now the problem with that is once I eat that, let's say there's 6 grams of protein in an egg, and there's 3 eggs, so we got 18, right? And then per 2 slices of bacon, just to make the math simple, we'll say I use 4 slices. So a serving size of bacon is 2 slices on the package, and it's like 7 grams of protein. So 14 plus 18 puts us at 32 grams of protein. But I honestly think there's more protein in the bacon because it's thick cut. So there might be double that. I don't know. I thought I got, when I did the math, I don't have it written down, but I think it was over 40 grams of protein after it's all said and done. Oh, the cheese has protein in it. So you had the cheese in there. But the problem is, right, so this was my first day of work as I did this. And, right, to much of my surprise, I ate it and I was tired. I was like ready to take it. Like I just woke up, worked out, ate this massive breakfast burrito, and I was pumped. I was excited. It was my first day, and then I was just like tired. I was like, can't be tired for my first day. So I'm like freaking out, right? I'm like, go ahead, first day, start yawning 10 minutes in. Yeah, right. So I pound a Celsius, 200 milligrams, and then the rest of the day, rest of the night, I was just wired for like the next 10 hours. I was like not hungry, whatever. Next day, I was like, all right, burrito again, had a cup of coffee, and that seemed to do. But kind of where my problem is when I have the caffeine before I eat something. So I've been trying to like play around with that. Like maybe I just eat a banana or something, but then I'm hungry by like 10:30, So I don't know, guys. I need advice when it comes to eating. I don't know what to eat. But I gotta switch topics. What are we doing here? Central air conditioning. I'm not gonna complain, but I'm going to, because it's what we do here. It's what I do here. I'd be doing you guys a disservice if I wasn't complaining. The central AC. So my roommate, he kind of like he likes it cold, and I'm like, whatever, right? Just go with the flow. But it's like 67 degrees, which I'm used to. Like I grew up with like no air conditioning, so not like we had air conditioning, but my parents would never turn it on. We always had the windows open, and then I had a box fan, and it sucked. So it was like basically forced me to be outside, so I'd never stay inside because it was just horrific. So there's the air conditioning. The problem is 67 degrees, my skin's itchy, so I'm going through lotion like crazy. But does that have to do with how cold it is in here? Or is that just like allergies, or is it just dry skin? I don't even know. But he left on a business trip, and I turned it back up to 70 degrees, which is where I'm like, okay, 70, like I can live, right? Like I'm not going to die. So I put it at 70, and then like I just, getting out of the shower and then like scratching my legs and itching my legs. It's like when it was at 70, I wasn't doing that. So I don't know if I'm just crazy. I don't know if it's just a mind thing, but I honestly feel like I'm going insane. So that's why I really hope a medical professional is listening to this podcast and they can help me out, because I can't afford health insurance. what do we got here? Okay, so if you're wondering why I'm looking up at my TV, is because I use my phone to record. I use my laptop to record the audio because I'm going to try this out. Hopefully the audio is better than it was last episode, which means I don't have my notes app because I need my phone or I need my computer to pull up the notes app. So I airplayed it, right? I'm a genius. So I airplayed it, which I'm just mirroring my screen from my computer onto my TV, and I'm just reading it off there. Which really irritates me because now I just realize that the next thing I'm going to talk about is something that bugs me. You guys know, I think there's a quote out there, something like, there's nothing worse than being a hypocrite. Well, there is. And I'm not going to make the joke on here because it's not my joke, but I'm sure you can just Google hypocrite jokes and you'll find what I'm talking about. Maybe. Just look up Norm MacDonald. Hypocrite joke. Yeah, he's a pretty interesting dude. Passed away from cancer, unfortunately, a few years ago. But one of the best. One of the greatest comedians, in my opinion. And believed by other comedians as well. That are slightly better than me. But why am I mad? It's because I today, I was driving home from work, and this just makes me so mad because if you ever think about working in Minneapolis, don't. Secondly, if you ever get stuck in a situation where you're working in Minneapolis, find a way to not work in Minneapolis. If you have anger issues, specifically when you're driving. So the traffic here is not great. It's not good. It's worse than what I'm used to. So traffic is just a nightmare, but long story short, somebody cut right in front of me, right? So there's construction, it's not fun. So there's all this entire single line of cars waiting at a stoplight, and it's like 50, maybe 100 cars back, right? It's backed up into other intersections, like huge traffic jam. And these people were turning off from, like, let's call it a Target or like a Cenex gas station, coming onto the road where it was already backed up. And I get how they have to get in, but they were just ruthless. And then people were like getting in the other lane and like flying up before like the construction cone started to where like they have to merge. And it was just like, why can't everybody just take a step back and smile and just be patient, right? Because, that would be too easy. So everybody's got to, racing home from work, trying to get in, trying to get back, and out of nowhere, I'm like, I got some space in between me, right? So I don't rear end the guy in front of me, and this guy flies up beside me and cuts in front of me. And to my surprise, it is a RAV4, which Toyota RAV4, I've heard great things about it. But the people who drive them sometimes people, and it wasn't even that. And why I say one of the worst things you can be as a hypocrite is because I'm so glad I didn't get that 26.2 bumper sticker, because that's what this guy had on the back of his car. And I don't want to be classified with this jack. I'm going to dial it down. Oh, Jesus. Not going to get upset, but that's why I don't want to be associated with somebody who's ran a marathon, or somebody who puts the 26.2 bumper sticker on the back of their car, because now he's driving around like this probably his entire life, And he probably ran that marathon 5-6 years ago, and he still had that sticker on because it was a little faded. It wasn't brand new. And, so now everybody, think of all the people he's irritated, like me, who haven't ran marathons. And they're thinking, wow, people who run marathons are bad people, are bad drivers. That's why I don't want to associate myself with that guy. And that's why my next point is the hypocrite thing is like the ultimate thing, because here I wouldn't have been able to make fun of him if I had a 26.2 bumper sticker. I probably would have been defending him, even though he cut me off and like 20 other people. But I think about how much time I spend getting frustrated and worked up over these things that just do not matter, which leads me into my last and final point. I don't know what we're at for time here, but I have to go to the bathroom and I don't really want to stop the recording. And the only increment I can see is 40 minutes. So we're somewhere in between 0 minutes and 40 minutes. But getting into my last and final point, tomorrow is Flag Day. So if you have any understanding and off the top of your head what Flag Day is, I'm sure it's probably something, something important, but I don't remember celebrating it, and I still have to work tomorrow, so it's not a national holiday, which means as an average American and 22-year-old male, I do not care. But that might be a little insensitive because it might be something important, which is why I'm asking you guys to let me know what the heck Flag Day is, because I'm kind of at a crossroads with Google. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just kind of sick of using Google. It's kind of the reason I'm still employed. I learned how to edit a PDF in Adobe by Googling it. Specifically, when someone scans in a document they have these like giant machines. They look like printers. Well, they are printers, but they're printers, and then they're also scanners, and the scanners are at the top, and there's like this glass screen, and like you can put one thing on it and scan it, or if you have let's say you have a report or something, it's like 20 pages and you have to get it into a PDF or like a Word document, you can set it on this tray, on this like scanner printer thing. Like it's this all-in-one fax machine. Like what's a fax? I don't know what that is, but you just use the printer and scanner. But my point is when you scan stuff in, sometimes when you load it in the computer, it can be in like landscape. So it's like you gotta like turn your head like this to read it. But it turns out if you save it like that, your boss gets mad at you. So what you have to do is put it into Adobe PDF, and what you can do is you can select all the pages. So let's say there's 20 pages in this essay, and you can flip them all at the same time instead of flipping each one individually, which would take like half an hour. You can do a half hour of work. You can do a half hour work. Basically, Google allowed me to do a half hour work in probably 30 seconds. And why I'm at a crossroads with it is I'm kind of upset that it's smarter than me. I don't like how Google is like, I have questions and I like asking people questions, but the amount of stuff I have to Google, I get kind of sick of it. So that's kind of why I'm at a crossroads. But I think I have to grow out of that if I want to be a young professional in the information era, in the AI golden age, is what I'm hearing. I don't really know what I'm talking about. Yeah, a lot of you said you wanted the video podcast, which reminds me, I had another question, and I know I'm forgetting part of it, so I'm sorry. This is, maybe I can pull it up, but I can't. I don't have Instagram. It's there. I got a DM which one I prefer you guys listen to. I don't care what platform you listen to, whether you listen on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, or YouTube. Doesn't matter. I would encourage you guys, if you want video, you have to watch it on YouTube or Spotify. If you listen to it on Apple Podcast or iHeartRadio, it's only the audio. So if you want to watch the video, you have to do it on Spotify or YouTube. If you, I guess I'd recommend, I mean, I really have no preference. I'd probably, if I actually had more than 5 people that listen to this, I'm just kidding. I have way more than 5 people that listen to this. I just like being humble, I guess. I'm just a humble guy. Obviously, if I have like hundreds and thousands of people watching it on YouTube, I'd get ad revenue. So I guess I'd encourage that. But I got to make sure my YouTube's up to date, because that I have to manually do, which, given how busy I am and, just how insane my life is, like, I don't always have time to do that, man. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, rock on, dude, and have a good rest of your night, man. Peace.